Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. There everybody is. So, just kidding. Sometimes I get a little like brain fart. So this morning we sent out a pretty comprehensive email. Good morning, Ian. And I spent a lot of hours on that yesterday. In fact, the email we sent yesterday, I spent a lot of hours on the day before. And because we're doing this launch, it's really important that either A, those that are participating in our money raise are very thoughtfully respected and appreciated, but also well informed, right? Like, this isn't, hey guys, I need money, call me later. I'm sorry. And we're never going to approach it like that. On the same respect, those that are getting into, or at least that have the opportunity to consider RHINOHUB, we want to really lay out what we're doing, because I got to tell you, when I was doing, good morning, Anthony, looking for, yeah, absolutely, Brian. When I was putting together that email yesterday, I got so excited. Hey, Frida, so excited. It just felt good. It felt like home. And I'll tell you how you can always tell if something feels like home. As I was doing that email, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I should go post this on my Facebook. I should go post this everywhere just to help people out. Like, hey guys, I'm doing this 21-day program. I'm going to get everyone certified, and 122,000 a year jobs are waiting for you. No charge, just get in if you want to join. And when I thought that to myself, it just hit. Everyone always says, you want to go ahead and create a business that you would invite your mother into. In fact, when I was working on Wall Street, that was part of the pitch book, right? Like, there was a book of rebuttals that many people used because they were wildly untalented. But what it was, if somebody says this, you retort and say that, right? So an individual would say, I'm just not interested in buying the stock, whatever. And you would say, Mr. Jones, not only are all my clients involved in this company, but my own mother. My own mother owns a position of 1,000 shares. Do you think I would put my mother in something that would lose money? You're with her right now. Trust me on this. I promise I will not let you or my mother down. And then maybe tell a funny, cute mother story. And that person would be like, oh, okay, I feel better. And of course, it was all a lie, right? Like, that's how Wall Street works. But this morning, I actually had that moment where I was like, my uncle, who I love very much, just is kind of getting a little bit whiplash from this economy. And I thought to myself, like, oh my God, finally, like a position that he could work from home, 100,000 plus salary, and all it takes is him to just learn how to get it. Well, this entire platform, this entire program is designed to go ahead and teach those who, have a very, let's assume they know nothing. So a below foundational level knowledge of the software, but at the same time they have the passion, right? And I always say, just come here with passion, and the rest we'll take care of. And in that moment, I was like, yes, that's what we're doing. Finally. In fact, on Facebook, I got a message from one of our rhinos, and she, has been with us for quite some time. She's like, Aunt, I see this RHINOHUB thing. It looks really great. One of my friends kind of, needs a new job, and I recommended it to her. And she asked me some, questions that we should answer. Like, how is this free? And why am I being charged $1 to join? And I realized, well, again, the RHINOHUB, the landing page, although this cannot continue being an excuse, right? It's a reason until it goes so long that it becomes an excuse. But we wanted to just get it out there, right? Let's put the page up. Let's allow those that want to be a part of it to get in right away. And don't get me wrong. I know the next 3 weeks are going to be testing, right? Like, I know I'm going to do things that are going to mess up, but the level of things that I'm going to mess up are going to be nothing compared to what they were a year ago. I have a really good handle on what we're about to do. But with that said, I don't have this yearning desire to go ahead and get 1 million people in today for the first go around. So that's commensurate with the lander. Put it up, and those that are super interested are going to just go, and those that are on the fence might have enough questions that they don't participate. And that's fine, because those are the people that we probably would have to be really, really well polished for anyhow. So it's like a market system that just works itself out, and we do everything on purpose. It's not by accident. I do stuff like that. That being said, she had shared the questions, and the questions were, like I just said, why is it asking me for $1? And the answer, which is the correct answer, which I don't have written anywhere, it's just on the lives, but I tried to input it today. So if you go to that same screen, it says free with a $1 test for security. Because to be a product on Kartra, it needs to have a checkout, right? Like, you can't have a product that doesn't have a checkout. No place in the world do I'll take this product off the shelves and you walk out, right? Like, there needs to be a checkout process. Now, with a product that's $0, you would think, okay, it's $0. Why do you need a checkout process? Why don't people just opt in? Well, yeah, of course. If we built it that way, as just a membership site that you opt in, great. But what are the limitations of that? The limitations are, you can't have an affiliate program for a membership site. It's not a product. There's nothing to sell. There's nothing to recommend people to. You can't have an agency for a membership site. There's nothing to clone. There's no product involved. There's no money-making opportunity. So we had to create it as a product because we're looking ahead at the things that we wanted to be able to do. And as such, a product has to have a checkout. So the checkout for Kartra, and really for any payment platform, to identify that you're a real person and you're paying with a real account, you put in your account information at checkout. What it then does is it tests your account and charges $1. Now, it doesn't know how much it's going to charge. It just charges $1 to make sure, hey, this is a real account. Like, we got $1 out of it. It's a real account. Now, when Kartra then sees that it's a $0 product, they then release $1. And I believe it's like a 3 or 4 day process. So the answer to why it costs $1 is, it doesn't cost $1. The $1 is to make sure that you're a real person with a real bank account. So it's a security measure, which absolutely makes sense to everyone, but it doesn't make sense if I don't share that with anyone. If I don't say it, then people are left wondering, wait a second, it says it's free and I'm being charged $1. From the get-go, not only do we look dishonest, but we look dishonest about something as important as money. That takes into account someone's financial information. So does somebody want to give their credit card information to a platform that's being dishonest about money? Hey, good morning. Probably not, right? So that's something we need to solve, and we'll do it today. Secondly, she goes, well, how is the certifications free? And actually, upon further review, some of them are and some of them aren't. In fact, the one we're going to be working on over the next 21 days, starting Monday, to be a certified Salesforce designer, the certification is $200. Now, that $200 is borne by you, where you pay Salesforce to take the moderated exam. Now, I'm sure that when you take the exam, you can either go to a facility, which that's your choice, or you could stay home, and then in which case you have to have camera like right on you. You're not allowed to look left or right or up or down. You have to show the room before you go ahead and take the test. Because again, it's a real certification. Salesforce is not going to put their name on that you know what you're doing if they don't know that you know what you're doing, because that would defeat the whole value of the certification. So for that, they charge $200. And also, everyone would take the certification if it didn't cost any money, right? So you want to make sure that the people that do take it are serious about it. Now, the average annual salary for this position is $122,700. Over the last 12 months, over 15,000 job postings have been for this position, and that's how you got the annual salary. And year over year, there's been a 280% growth in the demand of this position. Now, why did I choose it? A, I want to learn it. I have Salesforce, duh. But secondly, it's not a super complicated position. It's not a techie codey position, right? It's a position when you need to know the platform, so you need to learn the platform. Like, this button takes you here. Great, I understand that. All right, I want to make a journey. Okay, if this person opens this email, then it's going to lead to them to this, so I could click and bring that over and then write some, like, this is how I do it. And the point being, this is stuff you need to learn. So the curriculum that they offer actually has a recommended time of 39 hours and 10 minutes. That's their belief how long it's going to take you to achieve it. So what we are doing is, for 14 days, we're going to break that up evenly over 14 days, which comes out to whatever it does comes out to. And then the following 7 days is going to be preparing for the examination. Now, it then becomes beholden on myself to make sure I can put a curriculum together that people can learn. Now, when it comes to learning, I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't spell the word together. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Brian. I couldn't spell together. But my mother, like, used to call me lover boy. Like, I loved girls, right? Like, I was such a flirt, no matter what. Total flirt. Still am. Um, but in a respectful way, right? Like, I love my wife. Let's get that off the table. But still a flirt. If you're my grocer, you could be like a 70-year-old woman. And I'm like, you look so great today. Like, if I was your age, right? But I couldn't spell the word together. So my mother's like, to get her. Like, to get her. Do you want to go get her? To get her. And I was like, yeah. She goes, well, together is spelled to get her. And I never, ever, ever forgot how to spell together again. In that one moment, I could not spell this word, and I've never not been able to spell this word. Because the point was, there was a learning technique involved. Now, what's the definition of that technique? How is that technique identified? How is it executed? What was the value of it? What was the long-term retention of it? All of that really fun stuff. Oh, Walgreens is calling me. I don't have time for you, Walgreens. All of that fun stuff. Or how about, my mother, what's the thing for like learning the solar system, right? It's, I don't even remember the planets at this point. I know Earth is 3 and Mars is 4, but there was that mnemonic to remember all of the planets. Actually, how about, I still do this to this day when I want to know how many days are in a month. 30 days had September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except for February alone, which has 29 days and 28 days on a leap year. My very educated mother just showed me 9 planets. Hey, my wife is in the house. Thanks. So I'm assuming V is for Venus, M is Mercury, I guess the first one. But the point is, I know how many days are in every month by doing that. So can we go ahead? Yeah, thanks, Renee. So can we go ahead and take something like that and create a curriculum for it, right? How about songs? Our son watches Coco Melon, watches Gracie's Place, watches Sesame Street. My wife and I love Usher, right? Like, because, we're old enough to have loved Usher, and Usher sings the alphabet song. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? That's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, right? The order of operations of math. You think I know that off the top of my head? No, I know because please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. But Usher sings a song, the alphabet, moving, ABCs, and, he goes, U, that's for Usher. And then Y, yeah, man. And we always sing it with our son. And the point being, I can promise you that he knows the alphabet, right? Like, not like he can recite it right now, but hey, Abdul, I think we have a call Friday, maybe, or Thursday, or today, one of the days, but I did email you. But these things are really cool. So what if, and we have the technology to do it now, what if, let's take Abdul, for instance, and we say, Abdul, what is your favorite music and your favorite artist? And he's like, oh, I love Johnny Cash and Burning Ring of Fire, right? Like, that's my favorite. Now, what if I was able to go ahead and take the curriculum and produce it in the style of that song, then create a voiceover, put that over the actual musical background, and now Abdul is singing the song called, say, okay, great, 2 hours away. I emailed you a Zoom link, so please meet me there. Perfect. And then, so we were able to create a song where he's like, oh, great, I love Burning Ring of Fire, but instead he's singing like Salesforce button to the left, right? Like, I have no idea. We have to go through it. But I'm actually really, really excited to do this. And what it means is I have to prepare it a day ahead of time. But what's the outcome? The outcome being that every single day, every single person is walked through a curriculum that they're able to actually remember, retain, learn, and they're able to take it the next day, the next day, the next day. So when we get to that final 7-day examination period, we're going to take everything we just did, multiply it by infinity, and create a moment or a situation where the individual is able to completely pass the test, mnemonic. So actually, Renee, I just found out yesterday mnemonic is not spelled that way. I thought it was PN, it's MN or NM, something like that, but it's not a P in it. So just FYI, because I found out I was wrong as well. Oh no, see, exactly. And I found out, filet mignon is not filet mignon, right? But the point is, can we go ahead and get to that 7 days where we could go ahead and do the examination process? Now, embedded in that, and I'll share this with you out loud because we're on our live call this morning. When I was working on Wall Street, there was a thing called sticky money. And the belief was if you wanted to just be a transactional broker for your client, you were always going to lose your clients because you were going to be correct until you weren't correct. And if you didn't have anything that kept them there, then they were susceptible to moving on, especially if you had a bad streak. So what you would do is get their sticky money. And what that meant was they're like long-term money, their 401k, their IRA, their bond portfolio, REITs, real estate investment trust. Get something that means they have to stay with you for 7 years. So even if they're like, oh my God, you're the worst trader in the world, I'm never going to trade with you again, they're still with you for 7 years. You still have a reason to speak. It's like having a kid with your ex. She could hate you, but she has to see you. And who knows, maybe 3 years from now, you rekindle old flames. But the point being that even if you were the worst trader in the world, at some point, you kind of speak to your client and you're like, listen, I know that we haven't had a lot of great success, but I really this is the one. And maybe they say yes, right? You don't know. But the point is it keeps the person there. And to that point, not to be as cynical as that, but it's that's the science, right? Like you could use it for good or for bad. And we're going to use it for good. And what I mean by that is there's so many other things that would be the sticky of this. So for instance, if you were able to improve someone's life by developing a healthy eating habit that they woke up feeling great every morning for, and they lost weight and they felt healthier, would they stick with you? If you developed an exercise routine, you tend to shop in your own neighborhood. Yeah, thanks, Maurice. If you could develop an exercise routine for someone that's like, oh, I haven't exercised in so long and my health's so bad, but you made it fun and you brought them along with everybody else, would they cherish you? Would they say, listen, this is a good thing? The same thing with mindfulness and yoga and hobbies and leisure and relaxation and mental health. And what if somebody that was short on cash and is like, oh, I just can't pay rent, and you were able to get them the application for rental assistance that they got approved that day, or housing assistance, or education assistance, or healthcare, or childcare, or groceries, or internet? What would that person do if you were able to holistically and comprehensively touch their life in such a way that every component of their life has now been improved because of you? Well, I think that's the bigger thing. And I think we can do that for free. Well, we are doing it for free, but I'm saying everything that I shared with you does not cost money. It costs my time. And by time, I mean a lot of it, right? Like this is kind of going to be a Anthony's working all day thing. But it's also self-development. I'm going to learn the stuff. I would love to teach my son it. I'm sure my wife would like to learn it. We're going to have a skill set that we could market, right? Like we could add it to everything that we're doing, and everything that we're doing, going to be able to record it and place it within the platform so that the next time that somebody wants to be a Salesforce designer, I don't need to present it anymore. It's done, it's presented. And ideally, a couple of months from now, we'll have a library of like 10 or 15 things. And then maybe I could finally take a vacation once in my life, right? My wife's like, yeah, vacation. And that would be pretty cool. But within all of these programs and everything I just shared with you, you're like, wow, that sounds great. Can't wait for it. Well, embedded in that is that we're going to have money-making opportunities, right? Like we have an investment program. We have a RHINO Bucks program. We're launching a RHINO email program. We're launching our promptology program. We're launching, we have our RHINO Street program. And each one of these is going to be embedded in a common sense category, right? Like self-promotion. Okay, get your website going. Okay, now, don't you want to list your website? You just made it. Like, here you go. Where the person goes, yeah, duh, RHINO Street. Like, that's amazing. Thank you. Not where we're emailing people like, hey, do you want to list your business on a local search engine? And they're like, go kick rocks, which I want to like reach to the computer and grab each one of them. But this is a more makes sense way. You see, what we were always doing was we were coming up with the products, right? And all really good ones. And the benefit that we had was that I'm likable, that I outwork our competition and people happen to like me. And the fact that I had that benefit, I was able to be successful despite doing everything incorrectly in terms of not having proper marketing, but more importantly, not having the use cases for it. And what I mean by that is, it's almost like if you are just walking around town with a bar of soap. Well, yeah, people like soap, but they're not going to buy it from the weirdo walking down the street with soap. They're going to buy it from the grocery store. Oh, hey, I'm here. I'm in the bath section. There's soaps. I need soaps. Really, really cool. Well, that's what we didn't have. We didn't have the town square, like the hub, the Rhino hub. And that's where it all makes sense. So everything we did, despite the success, was not because of us. It was because it was despite us. But the things that you can't scale, well, not that you can't scale, the things that you can't create, like, oh, how do we find a likable person that people like? It's like in the NFL during the draft, all the best players go in the first round. And then the second round, you have some more really good players. But then when you get to the third round, you get to the players that don't even know how to catch a ball, but they can run fast. Because the idea is, hey, listen, I can teach someone to catch a ball. I can't teach them to run like a cheetah. So that's where you start taking the chances on people. And the thing that we have is, yeah, we run really fast, but we can learn to catch a ball. So that's Rhino. It's already 10:21. My first call is 10:30. I have to upload this, and I kind of want to step away for a second and get a bottle of water. So let me go. Absolutely love you. The email, please take a deeper look at it. How do I get on your mail list? You should be on it, Renee. I suspect as being here, you're on it. I don't think so. Okay, so then you know what? Can you message me your email? You could just do it at me, or you could let everyone know that everyone know your email, and then everyone could be like, Renee, we love her. But if you just put in this chat, okay, cool. I got it. And for everyone else that, oh, it is to just host and panelists. I'm thinking you're talking to everyone. Cheers. No, my pleasure. So love you. I will see you tomorrow. But oh yeah, that's what I was getting at. The email today, go take a look at it. Because if you didn't look at it, I wanted to show a sample of what it does look like. Can I do it really quickly? Is that even possible? I keep saying that I'm gonna do a 10-minute call, and apparently I'm just lying. So I know you could see me, I can't see you. Here's my email, I'm pulling it up now. Okay, great. So now let me do share screen, and then we're gonna go. Okay, so this is the email today. All right, so we're delighted to announce blah, 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 blah. Okay. But we gave a sample of what the first 7 days are going to look like because we want to get across how comprehensive it is, right? So day one, introduction to the 21-day, like an orientation. We're going to introduce it. You're going to have to do a couple of things. We're going to offer you all the financial assistance you need. And you know what? For dinner, have some grilled fish and brown rice and vegetables, right? And then practice 10 minutes of mindfulness technique, which we're going to lay out. So we're going to have this all done for you. Bed by 10:30. But day two kind of gives you a better picture, right? Spend 2 hours studying Salesforce Designer curriculum. We're going to have it for you. Have breakfast of whole grain cereal with low-fat milk, whole wheat toast with peanut butter, Greek yogurt with fresh berries. Low-impact aerobic exercises. We're going to have that listed for you, what that actually is. And the point being, if we can go ahead and give you a template and you say, well, I don't feel like doing sit-ups today, I'll do push-ups. I mean, you're a reasonable adult. You could make that decision. Or have dinner, a vegetable stir fry with brown rice. Well, I don't want to do vegetable stir fry. I would like to do, I don't know, a salad with light olive oil. Okay, good. God bless. Knock yourself out. But if we can go ahead and get in the routine where not only are we doing each one of these things, but we're doing it together. So my wife is like, Aunt, how much are you going to be on camera? I was like, well, when I go to the gym at 7 in the morning, I'm going to turn the camera on. Hey guys, I'm here. Who wants to hang out? And allow it to be almost like an award system. Like maybe we'll go ahead and start awarding points to each time you participate in something. Like, I don't know, but we'll gamify it to make it fun. So there really is a very big opportunity here, which actually brings me to my next point. I always appreciate teachers. I think they're one of the, if not the most important role in the entire world, because they teach the next generation. I'm not the teacher by any traditional definition, right? Like I didn't go to school to be a teacher. I'm not certified to be a teacher, blah, blah, blah. I believe that what we're going to be able to do is going to have a lot of good. And it bothers me that teachers don't do stuff like this. Like all right, I'm not going to go off the handle on that stuff, but I think they could do better at their position. At 10 a.m. for me. Thank you. Been a teacher for over 30 years. It's been fun. Oh, that's amazing. All right, I'm really going to go now. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.